The cafe was quiet. In the way places become quiet just before something irreversible happens. Soft morning light filtered through thin curtains, touching the wooden tables like a blessing that didn't belong there. I noticed the waitress the moment she walked toward us, not because she was beautiful, though she was, but because her hands were trembling as she balanced the tray. People don't notice small things when they're afraid of men like me, but I do. I've survived long enough to read fear the way others read menus. My mother sat across from me, stirring her tea slowly, unaware that the men who wanted me dead had finally learned where I liked to eat. The waitress stopped beside our table, her eyes never meeting mine, and placed the cups down carefully. Then she did something no one had ever dared to do before. She leaned in, so close I could feel her breath, and whispered just one word under her breath. "Don't." I froze. My mother lifted her cup, and before it reached her lips, the waitress's hand brushed it, barely noticeable, almost accidental, yet deliberate. She replaced it with another cup from her tray. No explanation, no apology, just a look that said everything and nothing at the same time. I felt the air change. Years of survival instincts screamed inside me, but I didn't move. I let my mother drink. I didn't. Seconds passed, then minutes. And when nothing happened, when my mother smiled and said the tea was perfect, I realized the impossible. That girl had just made a choice that could get her killed. She had risked her life for a stranger, for me, and I didn't even know her name. As she walked away, I saw the man at the counter glance toward our table and subtly shake his head. The poison hadn't reached its target. Not today. I followed the waitress with my eyes as she disappeared into the back, my heart pounding in a way no gunfight had ever caused. My mother looked at me and said softly, "Son, that girl just saved us." I nodded, but my mind was already racing, because in my world, no good deed goes unpunished. And I knew the moment she whispered that word, she had signed her own death warrant. Unless I did something about it. I waited until we were alone before standing up. My men had felt the shift too, they always did, but they hadn't seen what I'd seen. I told them to secure the exits and find out who was working the kitchen. Quietly, no threats. When they returned, their faces told me everything. The waitress's name was Elena, 23 years old. No criminal ties, no protection, and the man who had tried to poison us? A runner for a rival family who believed fear was louder than loyalty. I went to the back myself. No gun, no threats, just the truth. Elena stood by the sink, her shoulders stiff, eyes red like she'd already cried enough to know what was coming. When she turned and saw me, she didn't scream. She didn't beg. She said the words that left me speechless. Words no one had ever said